What about now? Y'all can hear me now? All right, perfect. So I wanted to do a live stream today because I wanted to talk about a little bit of the things that have been going on with me. As some of you know, and that you guys have pointed out, I've been working with the Fae, okay? And seeing, since I have, kind of embraced working more with my ancestral connection to basically the death current, I've been experiencing some very interesting happenings when working with the Fae. Um, I've literally experienced what they refer to as fairy borrowing, and that was something that kind of scared the living daylights out of me because I haven't really had anything happen like that to me where something actually physical, which takes a lot of energy to move, especially if it's a metal object, being moved or just disappearing for a few days even. In this case, it didn't disappear for a few days, it just disappeared for like a couple hours, and then it appeared back where we had left it, but we tore the room apart, right? We fucking tore the room apart. We were looking for this, basically, it was like a wax pen. We were looking for this pen, and we literally could not find it anywhere. We took the sheets off of the bed, we moved everything, and we were like, what the fuck, where did it go? So then after the fact that we removed everything, we fixed the bed up again and we laid down. Why, when we're laying down and we're in the middle of watching a fucking movie, does our wax pen just pop up right in the middle of us? And there's no fucking way that we didn't see that while we were tearing the bed apart, tearing the room apart, searching for this fucking thing, for us to fix the bed and it be right smack dab perfectly in the middle of the both of us, right when we're basically just watching a movie and laying down. So when I found it, I was just like, what the hell? Because I already had other things that were missing, but I didn't put two and two together and think, okay, maybe this is fairy borrowing. So after this happened, I kind of went to ask someone that has a lot more experience with them than me, and they basically told me that the offering that I had given them was kind of considered insufficient to them. So ever since then, when I gave them a specific offering, they've stopped. So literally, it's stopped altogether. So I learned literally that when you have them fairy borrow from you, you have not given the proper offering to them if you are in fact actually working with them. So that was something that was really fucking interesting to me. I have been getting myself back together, doing Goetic whispers and connecting more to the other demons that are a part of the Goetia. And it's been very beneficial. I do have a lot of them that are, in my notebook already, and I'm going to be making those videos. They're going to be coming out. Recently, I've also met a really cool freaking person that I got to hang out with yesterday and the day before that, and his name is Rurik. And Rurik is someone who is a really fucking great guy that created a few grimoires for a lot of us that are like well-known practitioners that he has a lot of respect for. So he's moving basically like across the country, and he wanted to meet with all of us that he made a specific grimoire for. So this guy's literally driving through the United States, coming to visit all of us and bringing us these grimoires, and it was just fucking awesome. So I got mine and I wanted to show you guys. So I found it really funny that one of the main two colors that I have that are heavily associated with me would be purple, right, and turquoise. His first choice of book that he was going to give me was turquoise, but he felt strongly that he should give me the purple one. So this is what it looks like. This book is like really sturdy, and the material, you can tell it's very fucking expensive. It's absolutely gorgeous. And in the inside, he used goat skin. Like, this is absolutely fucking amazing. And it is definitely, it's definitely the color that I would have went for, that I would have chose. I was attracted to the one that was crimson that he had, but that wasn't for me. But I was still just like, wow. But when I saw this one, I freaked the fuck out because this is absolutely gorgeous. And this definitely represents me as a person, this purple. And this represents me for sure as an occultist. So it's freaking beautiful. And then in the back, he used goat skin here as well. Took him a while because he literally told me this like last year. Maybe it was like in the beginning of last year or so. And he said that he was going to be creating these and he was going to be giving them. And I found out that he was literally going to be driving across the United States because he's moving to North Carolina. And he's literally just giving these to us. So he has one for myself. I believe he has one for Disco Demonic. He gave one recently to Tila Petrova in Utah. He's going to give one to VK Jehanum. And there's a few other people that he's going to be meeting up with too. And I just think that's fucking awesome, you know? And yeah, that's really an update on kind of like what's been going on with me. As I've said, I've been working a lot more with necromancy, and it's something that has come a lot more natural. Yeah? What did it look like? Yeah. Usually give them offerings when you go in the woods and outside, and they haven't. That's why. Yeah. See, I believe that the place that I go to, they give them offering because I offer them raw meat sometime, or blood, or I'll offer them, you know, the typical kind of offerings, basically where you're giving them milk, honey, giving them tea, giving them even bread or homemade cookies, cupcakes, things of that sort. Which demons have been standing out to me lately? Um, who's been standing out to me lately? Well, the main one that has continuously been popping up for me has been, you know, Belial. But that's really about it. And as I've said in the past, you know, in my previous video, that I've recently started working with Shaliku because he was calling to me and I kept hearing this damn name. I didn't know if it was real or not. So after the fact that I heard this name, I was just like, you know what? I keep hearing this name, so I need to find out who this is. I took it as, you know, being some kind of unrecorded spirit, but that definitely was not the case. So when it came down to, you know, looking it up, I found a lot of information. I found the sigil from Damien Barzoni that pertained to Shiliku that he created. I found extensive writing from VK Jehanam pertaining to Shiliku as well. And it was really, really fucking crazy. What happened, Sup? Tell me about it. What happened? Yeah, Bilal's really fucking awesome when it comes down to personal training, martial arts. I know that whenever I actually invoke Belial, he starts to, you know, take possession of me and I start doing kind of like Qigong. So if you're someone who works with Qigong, you do some kind of martial arts, or you do anything pertaining to your meridians or helping with the flow of Qi, Belial is amazing with that kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm everywhere. I'm just looking at all of these. Yeah, yeah. Mosquitoes and natural pests and things of that sort, they'll tend to leave you alone. I've noticed that too. No, I mean, hey, sometimes when the information comes through, it definitely seems like that. It's good for that as well. It invoked in better fighting, you know, sparring with some friends and used to kick my ass. And I easily messed him up after the invocation. That's fucking sick. Oh shit! You go, sup? Damn. That's dope. Yes. Asmodeus is really someone that can assist with your focus, with your mental clarity, and taking you deeper into trance. Hello. Hello, Autumn. Cody, yes. We have not gotten to collab. Sorry about that. I've just gotten really busy. Yes, dude. Tonight, probably not. It would likely be maybe on the weekend or so, but most definitely, I would definitely love to collab with you. Sorry, stuff has just gotten in the way, and I've recently just gotten back from South Dakota, so things have been just kind of like everywhere. But I'll definitely get back to you in the email. But I do want to collab. I do want to let you know that when I said I did want to collab, I was serious about it. Things have just gotten in the way, so it's been a mess lately. But trust me, dude, I'm gonna get back to you. What do I think about Leviathan? I really like Leviathan for um, I like to more specifically connect with Leviathan if I'm going to be calling to someone that I really don't actually know, someone that I really don't actually know. So I'll call to Leviathan and bring him forward when I want him to pull the energies from the abyss and kind of oversee my rights to make sure that I'm not picking up on or connecting to an imposter. Yes. How you doing, Maria? Nice. Hand soaps. That's awesome, dude. One time as a woodsman outside, felt a nasty spirit come at me, and I had a cramp for what felt like 30 minutes. Nice. That's awesome too. I'm really good. I'm really good. Today I just wanted to get on it and kind of become more active on my YouTube because I really wanted to show you guys I'm still around. I have a bunch of videos that are planned. I just haven't really gotten to them. I've been far more active on TikTok, but I want to come back to YouTube because TikTok has a lot of people that are very ego driven and they're kind of fucking idiotic. Like I was literally arguing with someone who was telling me that the Orishas don't walk with me because I'm someone who's not initiated. But I at the same time, the same fucking night, had someone come to me that actually is initiated that knows what the fuck they're talking about. And when I told them about my experience and they've watched a video of mine, the reason why they messaged me in the first place was because they had thought that I said something that I didn't. So it was a misunderstanding. And this guy came to me so respectfully in my inbox, not in my comments. He came to me in my inbox and asked me, like a man, if I said what he thought he heard. And he thought that I said that Yemaya had mounted me in a sexual way. Yemaya has in no way mounted me or came to bring any kind of energy forward that would correlate to me being seduced by her whatsoever. And I have a video on TikTok where I talk about being possessed by Yemoja. And so when I told him about that, we kind of cleared things up. He definitely understood that it was a misunderstanding. And so furthermore, after that, he confirmed that I did actually have a connection to her. And I started to ask him how I could go about getting initiated because that's something that I do want to go forward with in the future. So he sent me videos and started to kind of give me more information on how to get a reading about that and find out who is my head, find out how to connect better to my ancestors, things of that sort. So it was really cool. Then, as I've said, there was a fucking idiot on there that wanted to come forward and try and say that I was some kind of fraud, that the spirits I was talking to were fake, that I wasn't connecting with the Orishas, but I'm like, it's literally in my ancestry. And I didn't call to the Orishas. I didn't reach out to them. I didn't research them. They came to me. And majority of the time, that's how it works with majority of the spirits that have connected to me or called to me. Let's see. Something interesting I'm thinking about. In Romanian history, we had many fights with Ottomans, and I found out so interesting how so many times we just went to on the battlefield when the Romanians wanted to ambush. That's pretty fucking crazy. And awesome, Cody. Lavender, peppermint. Okay, I'm definitely gonna check out. I'm gonna check out your Etsy for sure, because I definitely love natural soaps and things of that sort. What? Yes, I do have a Patreon, and I'm becoming more active on my Patreon. For everybody who was a patron, I am so fucking sorry. Things have been so fucking busy, so I have not been really focused on it. I still have messages to reply to on my fucking Patreon because I haven't even replied to some people. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is very good to give offerings to them. Let me see. Do I have experience with Gate? What's really interesting is the fact that Gate is very similar to the Morgan. I have strong experience with the Morgan, but not Agate. But from multiple experienced practitioners, they say that Agate is the Morgan. They're one and the same. It's just from two different cultural backgrounds, if that makes sense. No, I don't believe so. You have a strong energy near your fireplace and it won't budge. Any tips on getting it out of your house? So let's see. Give me a second. So interestingly enough, Lena, interestingly enough, what I'm being told is for you to get a bronze bowl, okay? Get a bronze bowl, burn some dragon's blood near that fireplace right there. So if you take charcoal and you can get, if you take charcoal and you get the resin of dragon's blood, burn that by your fireplace. And while you burn that by your fireplace, call to Archangel Metatron. And Archangel Metatron will be the one that will be able to help you remove that energy. That's specifically what I'm being told for you to remove that energy from your fireplace. Exactly. You see what I mean? That's exactly what I just heard is Archangel Metatron. So Sidri, I don't want to speak on that. And the reason why I don't want to speak on that is because that was a friend of mine. I would rather much more so speak on that in private. So I don't have anything to say pertaining to that. All right, give me a second. Give me a second. Yes, Archangel Michael is really great for that too. Give me a second, you guys. You guys are asking a lot of questions. Okay. So Adam, email me. Email me. And also, Adam, I can't say that I don't particularly like angels. I really do like connecting and working with angels. I just, excuse me, primarily work with infernals and demons. So I like them. There's a necessity sometimes for them. And sometimes some of them have called to me in the past. So thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Sep. I'm glad that you got some really fucking awesome results from that pact as well. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I agree. I agree, John. It's fucking ridiculous. Especially, trust me, especially if you look on TikTok, you will see a shit show. You will see a shit show. You'll see a lot of people, grown ass people, literally fighting over things that are misunderstandings, minor misunderstandings. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous how childish people are on that fucking app. And how many people come to me and tell me about things that I really do know about. For example, there's so many people that are heavily Christian based, right? Someone who works with necromancy night and day, you know. I was educating someone on the subject of hell. I was educating someone on the subject of soul wells and educating someone on the subject of understanding which specific kinds of energies consume souls or have souls in a soul well. So when it came down to that, while I was educating this guy, I had some people come in and they were saying all kinds of foul crap, and I'm just like, just doesn't make any sense for you to come forward over here when you're literally seeing me educating someone on this. People were people were not as understanding, you know, kind of as myself. Because there are people who are practitioners that just don't tolerate it, they don't care. But I think that there are really great moments for educating someone that might be confused about these things, especially if they're curious about it, because I felt energetically that he was curious and that he didn't have any real understanding of what this actually is like. Yes, exactly, exactly. Okay. All right, Courtney, I got you. Give me a second. There's a lot of people that are that are replying right now. Of course, Adam. So the ones that I highly recommend for vampirism would be that of Tiamat, Kingu, Abzu. You have Lamu, um, Lilith, Bune, Asmodee, Amdusias, Lucifuge, Rofocale, Shaliku, Citri, and these are all for vampirism. All of these are for vampirism. Those are the main ones. See, that's something that I do not want to speak on. It's something I don't want to speak on because I have a strong knowing, a strong fucking knowing as to what exactly had happened. I don't want to really speak on it. For myself, I don't do reading with La Santísima Muerte. That is something that my girl is more well versed in. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. Brought a table, picture frames, par incense holders, and a copper bracelet, a burning bowl. Hope he likes the setup I have in store. I think he really will. I think he really will. Um, and sorry, Tyrese, when I told you that I was going to go forward with connecting to him, I did. I'm going to let you know what he said in an email. I'll shoot that to you. Also, I'm going to speak with him again just to make sure that things are the way that we said they would be. Just because I want to make sure that everything is all said and done and that it's set up to where you can continue to work with him and that there's a real mutual understanding as to what exactly you wanted and what exactly he wanted. Really appreciate it, Tyrese. Thank you. But I got you. Yeah, so for readings with La Santa Muerte, I would honestly send you to my girlfriend, the highest kingdom. She's a lot better at those kind of things and connecting with her and doing readings with her via divination than myself. So you can find her and book with her at thehighestkingdom.com. Nice to catch you and see you here too, Arctic. Hope you're doing well. Oh, no problem. No problem, Cedric. It's all right. Yeah, I'm always constantly working with spirits. Yeah, I'm heavily working with the Fae. Currently, right now, I am doing work with Osteroth, and I'm also working with Shaliku. So those are the main ones that I'm currently working with. Sorry, I'm still gonna go through these messages just to see what's here. Yep, yes they will. What spirits are good for psychic empowerment? Let's see. So Grimoire, I would say Paimon. Thank you, Nog, for the wow, $55. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Damn. Thank you, Arctic. I really appreciate it. Yes, yes, I definitely have. I've noticed a strong presence of um, Nama definitely in graveyards for sure. What's up, Atropa? How are you doing? Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on with this stuff, but it's been messing up my notifications too, even for people that I'm subscribed to. Exactly. Exactly, John. Sorry. I just recently saw that too. Yeah, that definitely is something that makes me very upset too, because of the fact that if there's information that's coming through and your tools have not been consecrated, you're going to be communicating with an imposter. And if imposters get in, it's really hard to get them out, especially if you're convinced that that's who you think it is. That's all I'm going to say pertaining to that situation because that's common, very fucking common. Mm-hmm. How you doing, Edward? With Morax, I did a Goetia. I definitely did do like a Goetic Whispers, but on Marks, but haven't done really any real working with Marks. No. Okay, so let's see. So, the reason why her energies would primarily kind of reside or rule over the graveyard is because of her connection to the Black Earth. The Black Earth is the abyss. It is specifically a Klipothic spear that is connected to the death current. Yes. I've been doing a lot of that lately. I've been doing a lot of that lately. I've gotten a lot more well versed with connecting to my higher self. So now, even during readings, I connect better to him, so much so to where he gives me information pertaining to several different things. Of course, John. What's up, Flotion? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate the love. Kind of reminds you of poison energy. So, as some of you may know already, um, some of you may not, I'm definitely very well connected to the Mizraim Cabal. So, I am someone who is a part of the Mizraim Cabal, and I work with Lady Phalorn. That might particularly be Lady Phalorn that you're seeing. Yes, I really highly recommend Moloch for anyone who is a musician, anyone who is a poet, anyone who has, um, you know, skills that are kind of very well connected to music. If you're musically inclined, Moloch is someone that is very amazing to connect to when it comes down to that. You also can connect to Moloch when you want to do inner child work, shadow work. But if you want to look into specific traumas, especially in your dreams, and have in-depth understanding of things that have happened to you in your life to help you along the way in making yourself understand that you can no longer be hurt by whoever it was that abused you. You can no longer be kind of um, disempowered or made to feel like you are powerless. I would highly recommend working with Lord Moloch for that. He's absolutely amazing. I've experienced him countless times in my dreams, and he's helped me through a lot of different traumas pertaining to abuse. Um, well, I would have to take myself into trance. I would have to do that as on a separate video, but I would be up for it. Yes, I would be up for doing that. I just have to do that on a separate video for sure. What are my thoughts on the death current and necromancy? I'm a necromancer, and I work very heavily with the Fae. I work with Osteroth. It's one of the main ones that I work with as well as of current. So I'm all for necromancy, and I'm all for necromancy in every aspect of necromancy, including the forbidden aspects, because that's the most authentic approach to take when you're working necromancy. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. It really does. Yeah, I agree. Wow, that's awesome. Have I worked with Gushin or Azazel? Yes, I've worked with Azazel in the past. In fact, Azazel and Paimon were the first actual. They were the first infernals that I connected to when it came down to doing curse work. So I've gotten some fucking amazing results when working with Azazel. I literally have nothing but kind words and gratitude toward Azazel because he gets the fucking job done. Not only does he get the job done, but it's quick. So, when will I speak of Anubis again? Anubis has kind of actually been around lately, and see, I've deleted a lot of videos on my TikTok because I got into it with fucking idiots that tried to argue with me about Anubis. There were people who tried to argue with me about Anubis being an Anu, that tried to argue with me about Anubis being heavily connected to Lemoira. There were so many fucking different things that I put out there that I deleted because people are children. Yes. Paimon will help you to, leave a toxic relationship. He also will help you to become more well versed in astral combat, but also help you to understand better what exactly is coming after you in your dreams, helping you to take over even nightmares. So, say you're having a nightmare and you are being chased by someone or you're going to die. I've had experiences when I was working with Paimon in which I've been stabbed or I was about to die, and Paimon would tell me to sit down, or Paimon would tell me that I'm in control. How can it be a nightmare if you're literally in control? You know? Because when you realize that you're not dying, you can't die in a dream because it's your dream, it's your reality that you have control over. There's literally nothing there. Paimon is very advanced when it comes to teaching you dream magic and thoroughly giving you the ability to control and manipulate those dreams at will. Yes, I've initiated into the entirety of the Qliphoth. Yes. Um, what can a demon do that an angel can't? Give me a second. Here's what they can do, and here's what I heard from my higher self. Angels, I won't say all of angels, but majority of angels will have boundaries pertaining to what you can ask for. If it pertains to murder, if it pertains to torturing someone, there are a lot of angels that won't do that. Infernals, demonic gods, the ousted gods, the old gods, they will do that. They will not hesitate, especially if it is their specialty. They will not hesitate to come to your call and aid you in destroying someone, completely sucking the life force out of somebody, contorting someone's bones, disconnecting someone from their higher self, things of that sort. That is the reason why I prefer to connect to infernals. I really enjoy angels, however, for a more balanced perspective, a better understanding of energies that are not as heavy, not as dense. Shemyaza is really awesome. I haven't done extensive work with Shimyaza, but I really do appreciate what Shimyaza have done for me. The universal circle, are you talking about the universal circle that Coedding created? Is that the one that the one that he channeled? Just let me know if that's the one. Yes, yes. Of course. No problem, Star. Yes. Give me 1 second, Adam. So, when it comes to energies of Chimera, there are different types. Just as there are different types of demons, there are different types of spirits. As you know, Chimera are hybrid. Chimera are also known as imposters, so you have to be very cautious when you're connecting with them. They likely only will call to those who are family to them or those who are associated with their creators. As you know, Chimera are creations from the Anu. So those are specific to ancestors of the Anu. I would hope that that makes sense. I believe that that is something that is possible. Give me 1 second, Flotion. I got you. Yes, have I ever worked with draconic energies? Yes. Astaroth is a very draconic energy. Tiamat is extremely draconic, and I really do enjoy connecting with Tiamat. I'm doing more work with Tiamat now and getting more into understanding my vampiric side, especially since I've been embracing the death current more. Yes, I do actually think that that is possible. Yes, Theodora. You're welcome, Adam. Thank you. Yes, yes. What do I think of Sekhmet? I really do enjoy Sekhmet. Sekhmet is someone that you can really connect to. Huh. Sorry, some weird notification popped up. I do apologize. When it comes to Sekhmet, I recommend those that have the strong warrior spirit. And what I mean by the warrior spirit is that pent up anger, that frustration, the trauma, the the feeling that you just can't really contain yourself or the energy that is within you. I recommend those people who have a strong connection to also, the Egyptian pantheon to connect with Mother Sekhmet in that way. Having her statue set up, giving her offering, giving her candles, but when you are connecting to her statue, holding her statue and pushing all of this anger, pushing all of this energy into her statue and giving that to her. She loves this energy. It's an amazing offering to Mother Sekhmet. I actually, Ao, I have a goetic whisper for King Asmodeus. Yes, yes. I have a goetic whispers pertaining to Malthus. It's on my YouTube. Do you think knowing what you are in a past life 1,000 years ago will have any practical purpose? I do believe that it will have a practical purpose. And the reason being is because in the past, I've had experience in which I've gotten a past life kind of regression done with one of my friends who I didn't really expect to do shit like that. And when he did it, he confirmed my he confirmed some of my abilities. Not only did he confirm some of my abilities, he confirmed my um, injuries as well. I have also had another channel known as Contessa Miller, who is really amazing, and she's like an expert when it comes to crystals. She also confirmed this specific injury in the past as well, because it's a specific place on my body that came up in two different readings over the years. So it was very interesting that that's something that came forward. I really do like people that I do like and respect people that do past life regressions. However, there are some people that do not know exactly what it is beneficial for. I recommend divining into people to understand that people who do offer the service know what they're doing. Find someone who knows what they're doing, because people get too caught up in all of that stuff. Let's see. Yes. Yes. I wouldn't say Sekhmet and Mama Kali are the same, but they do have similar energies. They have similar energies in a sense, because think about it. Sekhmet and Mother Kali, what are they depicted as? The dominators. Well, they're like dominatrix. They're dominators of men, crushing men's skulls, standing over men, showing the strong feminine, the divine feminine, the warriorhood in the divine feminine, showing that women can be powerful, that women can truly control and rule and lead. Those are Sekhmet and Mama Kali. So they do have very similar phenotypes. Very similar. Would I say they're the same? I can't exactly say that, because of the fact that they do come from two different pantheons. However, these are two things that would very much so be very similar to Agate and the Morgan. Two different pantheons, very similar phenotype, if that makes sense. Yes, I have worked out more of my um, differences with King Paimon, and honestly, the only reason why I actually had, initially stopped working with him in the first place was because I felt like I wasn't ready. So when I was connecting with Paimon and getting the feel for him, I was a beginner. So you can only imagine me not being initiated into the Qliphoth, me definitely not initiating into Doth, not even knowing that Doth existed or not even knowing about the Qliphoth yet, not knowing about transmutations that would help me better understand the Infernal's perspective, not going through the processes of really doing extensive path working to truly connect with these energies and have my mind and my perspective kind of change so that I can see from both sides. Working on my ego, and when I worked on my ego, I started to really understand Paimon a lot more, which is why now I really do have a whole newfound respect for him, because what he taught me, he didn't need to teach me that. He chose to teach me those things. He chose to come forward and work extensively with me, and even things that I wasn't comfortable with. He did give me the ability to have access to them. I have not actually worked with Abaddon. Um, However, I have done in my initiations into the Qliphoth, I have connected with Abaddon in that way. And in every Qliphoth that I've initiated into, I've been killed. So you can only imagine if you're being approached by 8 different infernals in each of the Qliphoth when you're initiating into them and you're dying. That that was my experience being killed. So yes, he's the first one that I've ever called to as well. He and Lord Azazel, those were the first ones that I've ever called to. The first ones that I ever did any work with. And as I've said in the past, Balberith was someone who was very present. I felt him. I didn't know who he was. Then after I got more experienced, I found out about who he was. I even got a few divinations, a few divinations done. And after the fact that I got these done, guess what came back as a result? That Balberith was definitely present with me, and that he was definitely trying to reach out to work with me. So, let's see. How do I feel about Anubis? Before it came down to any infernals, any energies pertaining to demons, or when I got onto the left-hand path, I was heavily working with Anubis. Anubis was the first actual deity to come forward and kind of reach out to me. I learned a lot from Anubis pertaining to crystals, pertaining to non-human dialect, otherwise would be known as glossolalia, right? Anubis has been heavily present. And in the past, I've made a lot of friends who are authentic practitioners that heavily work with Anubis as well. And it has been confirmed multiple times from with them as well, my experience with Anubis and their experience with Anubis, because we've had very similar experiences, and the dialogue that we have had with him and the conversations we've had and the experiences were extremely similar. So I do walk with Anubis, and I really appreciate everything that Anubis has done for me. I love Anubis. He is like a father and a brother to me. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, experience with Hajinti. I've heard of Hajinti um, on multiple occasions. I remember when I started to kind of learn about Hajinti. It was kind of something that was on the fly. Um, One of my girlfriend's kind of coworkers had Hajinti as a matron, so it was very fascinating to me that when they were describing Hajinti, I was able to go and look into the Goetia and find Hajinti in the Goetia. So then it all came together, everything that they were saying, the look. This person even had I believe this person even had a tattoo that represented Hajinti. So basically after that, that's when I realized that, okay, this is a real energy and this is actually a part of the Goetia. I don't remember if I have done a Goetic Whispers pertaining to Hajinti, but I have definitely had experiences with Hajinti. And Hajinti is amazing when it comes to money magic, luck magic, um, even torture. But for the most part, the main uses that people connect to Hajinti for would be that of money magic and assisting you with finding better jobs, getting better opportunities, having better luck, relationship advice, even. So, are Baal and Beelzebub the same? I can't say that. I don't know if I can say that. Do I have experience with Hades? No, I don't. I don't have experience with Hades. Yes, I can assist with yes, I can assist with unblocking. AO, let me see what you said. Do I work with certain planets? Oh yes. Oh yes, I do. I've worked heavily with the Cliff-Off in a lot of my workings, in a lot of cursing, and a lot of different things that I practice, and it makes a big fucking difference. So when I use and call to specific planets, you know, um, like those of Mars, connected to Asmodeus, right? Heavily makes a huge difference when you're using those energies in your workings. So yes, I do work with planets, and I work with them a lot. Any resources on Iblis? I really do like. Yes, Bilal is very helpful with initiation. Yes, he can be a very good guide in Klepothic initiation. My guide in Klepothic initiation has really always been Paimon. From my initiation into the Black Earth, the Black Sun, into Gashkala, into Arabzarak, like every single one, even Doth, I've had Paimon as my guide. You can, I might be able to say that Paimon might actually be my patron. And that's what I was just going to say too, Magic. I was going to say that VK Jehanam is one of the most reliable sources that I have found when it comes down to understanding Iblis and Shaitan. So you can most definitely um, go to his Patreon. He has a lot of rituals, a lot of spells. You can go to his website. He has extensive information pertaining to Shaitan, especially from a um, especially from a witch's perspective. I really appreciate the way that he goes about channeling and putting information out there, especially pertaining to Iblis. So I can recommend him. I only have experiences with Iblis in which I was doing initiatory rituals. That is the only time that I've actually experienced Iblis. Have I ever worked with Aureus? I've worked with Aureus when I've initiated a pact for someone, but that is the only time that I've kind of initiated contact with Aureus. Literally, some of the Goetic spirits, I have only encountered them via pact making. Quite honestly, that is the only time. Some of them. Okay, I'm still looking into um, how do you strengthen your connection with Anubis? Okay, I really like to channel information pertaining to Anubis because there's always something that's very unique to the individual asking the question. So give me 1 second, okay? So, Anubis likes to have offerings of fish. He does like gold, he likes amethyst. This is particularly something that is unique to you that I'm being told about. So, when it comes down to you wanting to strengthen your connection with him, you can cook him fish. You can cook him salmon. You can get because what I was particularly seeing pertaining to you is getting a pendulum stand. Anubis rules over divination as well. So you can take a stand with your pendulum, then to have it hanging down. Make sure that this pendulum is amethyst, okay? There's a strong tie to amethyst, the color purple, and as for amethyst is the dream stone, you can use this to communicate and connect better to him, giving those offerings of clove. Burning clove for him is something that is very beneficial as well. So that is unique to you, Arctic. My experience with EAGM Razarith, we address him as the EAGM. He's earned that title, and as have all of the Tower Masters in the Cabal. So when we speak of him and we speak of his name, we refer to him as EAGM Razarith. We don't use his given name out of respect. All of the work that I've gotten done with him, all of the advice that I've gotten from him has made me a very powerful practitioner. It's made me far more powerful and far more knowledgeable in my workings of necromancy, my connections to Lady Phalorn, my connections to the Mejrai, my connections to all of the infernals that I work with in general. His rites, his rituals, everything that he offers, all of his service, his divination, everything is spot on. Everything that he does is otherworldly. Everything that he does is really efficient. And some of the things that he's done have permanently stuck with me. So I really appreciate the EAGM Razarith. And he's a very powerful, powerful magician. Very fucking powerful. I highly recommend his services if you are someone who is serious about your work. Have I ever done work with Lilith? I've done more work with Nama than I have done with Lilith. His channel is the Temple of the Mejrai on YouTube. So you can find his channel. He's our EAGM, so you will specifically be able to see videos and information pertaining to the Temple of Mejrai on his channel. If you also wanted to learn more about necromancy and understand magic that pertains specifically to necromancy and atrophy, then you can go to the Grand Lich on YouTube. That's referred to, that's also known as Imperator Kane or Tower Master Kane, who's the Tower Master of Atrophy. Highly recommended as well. Will I summon Marquis Andras? Um, like I said, I don't remember if I've made a Goetic Whispers for Andras, but I do have experience with Andras. C3. So basically, it's a C tree, right? That's the name that I'm reading because that's what I want to say when I see this. What's up, John? Oh, very much so. With my patron or my Patreon. So, there's no actual preference. I just have a stronger connection to Nama. And I believe the reason why I have a stronger connection to her is because of my work with the Cliffoth. Hmm, that's really cool. Maybe, well, let's see, because I don't particularly know. So give me a second. But I'll try and see if I can find information pertaining to that. So, by I'm not sure exactly your connections, but from what I'm being told, the pyramid is something that can be a little confusing. But from what I'm being told, you should look into Sumerian magic. So I'll leave you with that. I don't have a course. I did have one, but all of my stuff literally disappeared. So most of the things that I had on there that were more advanced practices, they fucking disappeared. I will be making one. Thank you, Buck. I will be making another one, but I have not I have not started doing that as of yet. Nyx is awesome. Any books that I would recommend? Okay, so I have quite a few books that are right here. This is a really good book here. And the reason why I highly recommend this book is because there are a lot of infernals and demons that are documented in this book. Even though some of the information is kind of coming from a fear-based perspective, they have a lot of them that are actually documented in here. There is a lot of information pertaining to the directions, the ranks, also different references, different books, um, different kind of initiatory paths, different types of magic, the historical facts about them. It's a really good book. Highly recommend this book as well. Beginners can read this book too. Extensive knowledge from S. Conley pertaining to demonolatry, and it's very extensive as well. Ranks, initiatory rituals, chants, inns. There are hymns in here. There's gematria in here. There are a lot of advanced and beginner-friendly techniques that are in this book as well. Um, let's see. I don't really have any other books that pertain to um, demonic magic. I would have to look through my list because I have most of them on PDFs that I've bought. But this is another really good book as well, if you're beginning. And the reason why is because this particular book, the way that they speak is kind of like in a code. So when they speak in this code, it's like you're reading this book and you're unlocking things within yourself just by speaking these words in this specific way that they've written them. So reading this book is extremely powerful, even for those people that aren't even in hermetics, even for those people who don't study the practices of ancient Egypt or Greece. It's very powerful for that specific reason. And I've heard this from multiple practitioners as well. They'll read this book and they'll read the words that are being said in here and the specific order of the way that the three initiates have literally written these words. They are unlocking things in your subconscious mind, giving you better access to information, channeling, things of that sort. So it's a really good book for that. For beginners, those are the main things that I would recommend. You can also go to um, VK Jehanam's website. He's the main one that I see that has extensive information pertaining to this stuff. My YouTube channel is going to have a lot of information pertaining to these kind of things as well, because my channel is going to be beginner friendly. As I've become someone who's more of an advanced practitioner, I have been able to break down information better than I used to, because I was someone who was a beginner myself. So I couldn't really break down information enough to give it to a beginner, because I would just jump into things instead of thoroughly researching. So Give me 1 second. One thing that Duke Agetis likes is rice and grain. So you can give rice and grain, that is perfectly fine. It's very simple. It will be extremely efficient. Autumn. I hope that answers your question. Yes, yes. Yes, my higher self, yeah. Give me 1 second. I don't know anything about Enlil's kingdom. However, I do know that they do refer to Enlil. Sorry, give me a second. Give me a second on that. I'll come back to that. Give me a second. Hell yeah, I've had extensive success. In fact, I would consider myself someone that kind of has the Goetia kind of ingrained in them because I've worked with it so much, especially with my Goetic whispers. There have also been people who have done readings on me or divination that have purchased services, and they've confirmed a strong presence of the Goetic spirits around me. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know why it's been messing with subscriptions and stuff. I don't know. I don't know, Arctic. I really don't know. Okay, Davis, you want opinions on Starseeds? Okay, for this particular one, I want to communicate with my higher self because I get confused on some of these concepts. It's shit that really just sometimes is beyond me. So I want to be able to formulate these words in a way that will be very easy to comprehend. So, star seeds, when someone is actually a star seed, they embody the actual essence of a real tribe and or species of an extra. Sorry, got a fucking call and it disturbed everything, but I'm back. So yes. Turn what? The moon? Okay. Okay. Also, what time is your shoot? Oh, it's at 6, don't worry. Oh, okay, cool, cool. I just want to make sure. So give me 1 second. So, as I've heard from my higher self, when it comes down to star seeds, they are a, and the words from him, they are an incarnation, okay, of a specific tribe or extraterrestrial race. They house the essence of that specific extraterrestrial race. When someone is a legit star seed, they have connections to a tribe of an extraterrestrial species and or the entirety of a specific race of them. They will be able to connect to specific planetary energies better. Some of them will have access to specific energies that give them the ability to speak in non-human dialect or the languages that are more traditional on those specific planets. They are specifically One second. Sorry. This is what I mean. Even when I channel information from my higher self, it's very fucking difficult to put this into words because it kind of just leaves my head. So they have the ability to speak traditional languages that are long forgotten pertaining to specific planetary energies. They are not something that is extremely special, but they are here. And they are here to teach the ways and the tradition, the path, the culture of where they come from. And they also are here to bring everyone together. To bring everyone together. And what I mean by bringing everyone together is helping them understand where they come from, helping them understand their traditions, helping them understand their ancestry, because starseeds have a very amazing understanding of ancestry. Working with your ancestors, connecting with your family, connecting with your deceased loved ones. A lot of starseeds are also very, very powerful mediums. So I hope that this answers your question. Okay, the way that I learned how to connect better to my higher self is a long story. And to make a long story short, there were things that I've been through in my life in which my spirit guides were very present and possessing people. That's what they like to do. And my higher self would possess people in the past. And when I found out about this, I was very pissed off about it, but I had learned a lot. So after all of these things that had happened that were extremely traumatic, that when they helped me through understanding my anger, understanding different pieces of myself that were like being set off by shadow people that came forward to me in my experiences when I was fucking around as a kid, and when I shouldn't have been doing things that I was doing. But the reason why I was doing these things is because I got access to certain techniques that that I shouldn't have been knowing. And that I give the honor of like giving credit to the mantids, because they're the ones that taught me the techniques that I learned to be able to interdimensionally travel the way that I did when I went to the places that I did. And so after I had these things attach themselves to me, after I was attacked in the astral, I came back to my body with this astral wound, and there were shadow people that were feeding on me because there were fears that were seeping out. My aura wasn't sealed, so fears were seeping out. A lot of different things were seeping out. I think it was meant to be, because I ended up having a far better connection to my higher self through all of this, through all of the psychic attacks, through all of the freaking abductions that I've had. I've gotten the ability to fully understand and connect to him, so much so. And I do chakra work extensively. That is one of the biggest things that I'm always doing every day, is meditating on all of my chakras. The transpersonal, the subpersonal, all of your chakras in general. I work with all of them and I empower them. And I've more so been able to channel him even better in seconds. So now I more so than ever do this in my readings too. So when someone asks me a question, I'll go directly to him and ask him a question. And the things that come forward are things that I literally do not know, but I pull them from his energy, and he'll connect and pull the energy from my specific client. Because as an energy vampire, as someone who practices vampirism, that's exactly what my higher self does. He'll pull pieces of their energy, and I will consume it, and I will know about that specific person. Yes. So that's how I've gotten better at understanding and getting information from him and channeling just on the spot. I work on myself a lot. What do I think about bringing the chakras into one? You're talking about the energy center known as Nazala that Jehannam has like really put out there. I, for one, think that it's a very beneficial practice. For one, it's something that literally is not going to damage or destroy your chakras whatsoever. It can close them off and make them a lot harder for people who are very well versed in vampirism to go after. It'll make it a lot harder for people who are well versed in using shadowmancy or using the shadows to walk and come attack people. It'll make it a lot harder for them to come after you. It'll make it a lot harder for people who are advanced practitioners to come and attack those energy centers or even attack your organs and your body in general. I very much so recommend, if you are someone who is a part of, the left-hand path and you do practice black magic, if you do want to go forward with making all of your chakras dissolve into one, go forward with doing that practice of creating your Nazala. And the only one that I've ever seen that has documented it extensively is Viki Jehannam. And the only way that you're going to be able to actually get access to that particular information is becoming a patron of his, because he doesn't have the book available anymore on Lulu, because that's where originally I got it from. He has that book on his Patreon. I don't know if it's on his website, you can check, but he has it for his patrons. Can you self-deify with Hajinti? I don't exactly know. I do not exactly know. All right, so let's see, Arctic. No, no. And I don't believe that I don't believe those spiders pertain to parasites at all. I think that those are actually connected to energies that you work with. So those might be an atavism of someone that you work with, because I don't see these as being anything that pertain to parasites. I don't see parasites per se in your energy. From what I'm seeing. What crystal do I use the most? Clear quartz. Because clear quartz can be programmed and designated for anything that any other crystal can do. If you can remember or you have experience with a lot of crystals, then as you know, crystals are record keepers. So you can put the essence of any energy and anything that you've experienced in your life. That goes for any energy of any crystal that you've experienced, especially if it's a quartz crystal. You put the energy in there, you can program it to do whatever you want. So quartz crystals and smoky quartz crystals, those are by far my favorite. And I use smoky quartz because of its extremely powerful grounding properties. So CJ, for when it comes down to those kind of questions, you can book a consultation with me and we can go over who may be around you. Oh, it's not too personal, Arctic. I don't see parasites. I don't believe that those spiders are connected to any kind of parasitic energies that are feeding on you whatsoever, at all. Any tips on how to learn tarot? I don't actually read tarot cards. I don't. I'm intuitive, so when I do my readings, my higher self will interpret what the hell's going on with the cards. He tells me what it means and what is what. I don't actually utilize traditional reading of tarot cards whatsoever. And then if I'm not using them in a session or in a reading, when I'm connecting with them, I am shuffling the cards just to have a stronger connection to the client, because they are a conduit, they're a link, they're an extension of me. And that's what I consecrated them to be specifically for. So. What's interesting is that the arachnophobia is something that is there specifically to give you the ability to understand those creatures more. Because for myself, I literally was extremely afraid of scorpions, extremely afraid of tarantulas, extremely afraid of a lot of different insects. Working with the Fae, they're like throwing all of that shit in my face. They like throw all of those things in my face. Like, here, if you're coming out to nature, you need to go over here. Nothing's gonna attack you. Like, working with Paimon, same thing. Getting eaten by scorpions all the fucking time. Damn, thank you. I really appreciate it. That's fine. No problem. I appreciate the donations for sure. But so I was eaten by scorpions. And as a very young child, my reoccurring dreams were me being chased through temples and caverns, being chased through pathways in the pyramids, under the pyramids, chased through all sorts of different caves by spiders and giant tarantulas. So trust me, I understand where you're coming from when it comes to arachnophobia. But I can tell you right now, as someone who was extremely afraid of demons, someone who was deathly afraid of ghosts, someone who was deathly afraid of spiders, someone who was deathly afraid of necromancy and the death current. Now I work on the death current. Like, there's a reason why you're afraid. It's probably what strongly calls to you in the first place. I hear knocks when I call to Belial as well. It's very normal to hear knocks. That's a way that he communicates. That's a way that he communicates with me to this day. He also communicates with me in sending me his atavism. So he'll send me bees sometimes. But more specifically, he'll send yellow jackets, hornets, the kind of bees that you don't see all the time. Yes. So it's very normal, very normal. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Furcos is amazing. Okay, can you check if I'm under servitor attack? I feel like I am because of downloading free occult ebooks and others known to protect their books from them with servitors. So let's see. No, I don't believe that you're actually under servitor attack. You're not. No. You're convincing yourself that you are because you've heard that they've protected their books or they've protected their property from people that would get PDF versions of their books. But no, you're not under attack. You're not under attack. No. I know. I know. And I'm telling you, I've been getting so many people inboxing me about herbs and my videos on herbs on YouTube. They've been inboxing me on TikTok about that. I know, I just literally fucking stopped. I will continue my herb videos too. I will. So I have a lot of fucking content coming. I have a lot of work to do. So, what could be dangerous about working with demons? In my experience, every person that works with infernals or work with the demonic, they will say, everyone that literally fully works with them and respects them in totality. So I'm talking, you're not using Solomon's circle. You're not using threats. You're not throwing shit at them.
You're not using the names of the Abrahamic God. You're not using names to bind them. You're not using objects to bind them into. You won't get backlash, and it's not going to be extremely dangerous if you're using it in this way. For thousands of years, they've been disrespected in this particular way. So anyone that thinks that they can work with the fucking Goetia and use those things and think they're going to get off scot-free and think that you're going to have allies in the Goetia when you're using those kind of practices, those are the only people that I've ever heard of having attacks or betrayal or deceit or being lied to by anyone in the Goetia. Everyone else that I've connected to that I know that is advanced, that has been on this path for years, has not reported being betrayed or having anything that happened that was extremely dangerous on their path when they worked with them in the most respectful way. You give respect to get that respect. What's really dangerous is when you are connecting to the cliff-off, or when you're going through, you know, the trance labyrinth of the cliff-off, when you're going into the tunnels of Set, when you're going into more advanced initiatory practices, that is dangerous. When you're doing practices that involve you dying and coming back to your body in necromancy, that's dangerous. When you're calling to someone like Sephiroth's and you don't know Sephiroth's, that's dangerous. When you're not heeding people's warnings about working with advanced gods or advanced infernals, that is fucking dangerous. Those are the things that are extremely dangerous. If you're going with beginner-friendly and connecting to beginner-friendly demons or beginner-friendly gods and infernals, you'll be a lot more safe because they're going to be able to guide you into where exactly you need to be as a beginner. The practices that are very dangerous are very much so initiatory practices. I hope that this answers your question. Yes. Have I worked with Sargatanas? As I've said, with a lot of different energies pertaining to the infernals, I have only done initiatory processes, and I've only experienced Sargatanas in initiations. I've not done any work with Sargatanas, though. I also still have yet to do work with Sestergrio, which I really want to, because I want to meet Sestergrio. That's one of the 5th demons that I really wanted to connect to, because I found that his specialties were things that I really wanted to start to kind of get an understanding of, because I was working more with baneful practices at the time. Yes. Lucy is very peaceful. I agree. When you're first doing invocations with them, do you have to build the confidence? No. You need to stand on exactly what it is that you said your goal was from the jump. So if you're going into evoking them to get them to go do something for you that is connected to, let me see, having yourself become more confident, more magnetized, people wanting to talk to you more, people wanting to trust you more, people trusting you more. You need to be confident in the fact that that's exactly what you want. Don't change your mind when you bring them forward and you're talking to them and you're like, okay, I want this, but I want this. If it wasn't on the paper when you first initially started the ritual, don't even think about saying it. Don't even think about saying it, quite honestly. If you have multiple things on the paper, then those multiple things should be addressed and said and told to them. But if you don't bring other things up, because you're going to piss them off. Some of them are going to be impatient with you. Some of them are going to maybe not be so pissed off. They might just leave because They might just get frustrated with the fact that you're throwing too many things out there and making it extremely complicated.
That's good. I don't really know a lot about that because I don't really know a lot about that North. But that's good. I'm glad that it's definitely helping you. Well, for myself, I would say the interesting part about that would be when the sun goes down. Seeing as I work heavily with Meijerian magic, I use the infernal hours that pertain to atrophy. So from midnight to 3 a.m. would be considered the night to which you can connect to night demons. Day demons would be from 6 a.m. to probably about just before sunset. That's what I would say. So, here's what I say to skeptics. I am a skeptic. I am a skeptic. To this day, I'm very skeptical about everything that I do, everyone that I connect to, and I got onto this path as a skeptic. As a young child, I was extremely skeptical of everything. It's never changed. So I say to a skeptic, I'm a skeptic with these experiences. And when I extensively break down experiences that I've had and go into great detail, a skeptic can't tell me anything if I'm a skeptic myself, especially if I know how to debunk these experiences. And I have done extensive research on connecting these things that are happening pertaining to paranormal. Some things you just can't explain. It's made me far more less of a skeptic being on this path for sure, because I've experienced far too much to think that I know everything. I've experienced far too much to leave it to my logic, though I do continue to debunk a lot of different things before I go forward with saying, okay, this is real. That's the reason why I don't go forward with doing any even research pertaining to a lot of different spirits that I connect to. A lot of the time they come to me and I'll hear their name, or they'll talk to me in a dream, and then I'll do research when I wake up because I was introduced to them in a dream. What's up, Va? How are you? Have I ever encountered the Great Ghoul? No, I have not, actually. I haven't. What is my opinion on the Lesser Key of Solomon? It is extremely disrespectful to those of us that have infernals and demonic gods as patrons and matrons, or patronesses and matronesses. It's disrespectful. It's very distasteful. Because essentially what you're doing is you're calling them by the names of their enemies. You're threatening them. You're writing papers out and throwing shit at them. You're being told that you need to wear a ring to summon or connect to Osteroth. We don't do any kind of fucking summoning. We invoke or we evoke them. You don't need a ring to summon Osteroth because we don't fucking summon Osteroth. You don't need to wear the ring and cover your face because of Osteroth's putrid breath. Those are Abrahamic depictions of the Goetic spirits. How much time do I spend meditating? I try to meditate at least an hour a day. At least an hour. Yes, Asmodeus can help you learn a variety of different skills. Buck, I have not encountered the Great Ghoul. I have not. Lucifer is sarcastic at times, and he can speak in general when he's delivering messages too. So he might be literally addressing you and talking shit to you, but he'll say it in general as if it's a public message. Those are things that he does. He likes to do shit like that. So he'll have you deliver it openly, knowing that it's for you. As with Asmodeus. Asmodeus does that too. Yes, it's very normal for Bune to ask you for lady perfume. Bune loves that. Bune is Bime, or Baim, in the Egyptian pantheon. And Baim comes forward as the golden woman. But how I see Baim is with green eyes, green curly hair, and very golden skin. Baim is always showing up in the nude. Though it's very intimidating, that is how Baim Bune shows themselves to me. So it's very normal for them to ask for perfume. Extremely normal. In fact, that's something that I've been asked of in the past from Baim as well. Okay. Okay, let me answer this question. So Flame, you wanted me to explain walk-ins. I have had a walk-in experience, so I can try and explain this as best to you as possible, but I'm going to channel information from my higher self too so that I can put it into better words. Because I will fucking stutter all over the place and I will take forever to get to the point. Let's see. So, a walk-in experience is a happening that occurs often, and people will equate it to mental illness because someone will have a walk-in experience in this human flesh, in this vessel, and they will come into new abilities. They will come into understanding things that have happened in the past or have access to past lives that they've had far easier than when they were not someone that had a walk-in experience. It's an experience in which the particular person or the particular actual soul agrees to switch with a said deity, spirit, race of extraterrestrial, energy, anything for that matter. When they agree to switch, they can have this experience in which they'll have it walk in. They get access to non-human dialect or dialect that is more so connected to a specific planet, a specific constellation, a specific people, a specific timeline. As I've said, access to these new abilities of that specific energy as well. But the abilities are going to be connected directly to whoever it is that has walked into you. You will also get the memory of whoever it is that has walked into you. You will not necessarily have an experience where you forget all of your experience before you had the walk-in, but it's going to take time to be able to unlock that. It's literally as if you are disconnecting from it's literally as if you're disconnecting from who you used to be and becoming whoever it is that has walked into you. It's fucking weird. And in that experience, it took me a while to actually come back to understanding myself. It took me a while to, to bring myself back together. I was a mess. I was a mess. It was very difficult
to understand what was happening. I was able to channel this newfound information. I was able to speak this new language. I was able to travel to all of these different places. I had all of these different connections to all sorts of different fucking pantheons too. But that's because of my walk-in experience. For myself, my walk-in is me. Like, it's really who I actually am. Some people, in some cases, when they have a walk-in experience, it's a random energy that they may have been associated with, that they've agreed to let have an experience in the human flesh. Now, there are people who are very skeptical of this, but when it comes down to these kind of things, as I've said, I'm a fucking skeptic. I have had a real walk-in experience, and I can recount when it happened and what the hell it was like when I had this experience. So I hope that that answers your question. A walk-in can differentiate between multiple different things. A walk-in can literally hijack the vessel and remain in that person, not as a parasite, but literally living through that person and kicking the soul out, as a lot of different as a lot of different beings with extraterrestrial origin can do and have done. So, what does my astrology chart say about the age of my soul? I don't exactly know. I have to check that again. I have to check that. Can I give tips for spiritual jewelry? Yes. Give me 1 second. Thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate it. That's fucking amazing. Thank you. Let's see what we have here. What do I recommend for connect? Okay, you want to strengthen your connection with Paimon? Give Paimon some rum. Give him some very dry rum. Paimon loves dark liquor. He loves spicy food. Paimon loves sacrifices. So, like, I know that this is something that people frown upon, but if you do have roaches or you have an infestation and they are things that are pests to you, you can give them as a sacrifice to Paimon. You can. So every time you do smush one or you kill one, give that as a sacrifice to Paimon. He appreciates things like that. Things that bother you, things that really don't serve the highest good to you, things that you don't want to be really like a part of your personality and things of that sort, having an altar put together for him and writing those things down that you want to rid yourself of or that you want to work on to better yourself are really good energies that you can utilize to connect to Paimon. He likes fire and water. Those are the main elements that you can utilize to connect with him. So you can utilize burning of these specific things or traits or parts of yourself that you really want to work on, burning that on a paper, and Paimon will help you on the path to understanding how to better yourself when it comes to those specific energies. Thank you, Little Horn. Oh, that's interesting. That's fucking crazy. Yes, binaural beats for the third eye are really fucking awesome too. I agree. I think the Necronomicon is a very authentic book. Very authentic book. And anyone who says otherwise is full of shit. Because it's a book that definitely has real teaching in it, real practice, and I've actually done some of the rituals in the Necronomicon, and it definitely does fucking work. I would recommend it for those who have a strong understanding of, who have a strong understanding of baneful magic. That's who I would recommend it to. But it's extremely powerful. Extremely fucking powerful. Extremely fucking powerful. I can say the same when it comes down to your energies that are connected to the old gods. For example, Cthulhu, Azathoth. Those old gods, they are very, very fucking powerful. And they're very fucking real. Very real. Yes. See, I saw that question pertaining to court cases. Paimon, Beelzebub, Belial, Astaroth. Lady Astaroth is very, very great at court case workings, things of that sort. Those are the main ones that I would recommend for court case workings. And if you feel like you're not confident in your court case workings, you can come to me. I offer court case workings. Gushian as well. Exactly. Exactly. As is Pazuzu. Pazuzu is great with court cases as well. Hi, how are you? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Tips for spiritual jewelry? What did you want to know? What did you want to know, vagina? How do you contact a spirit? Okay, no problem, no problem, no problem. Go ahead, go ahead. You're good. I'm just looking at the other questions too. No worries. Just let me know. Hold on, hold on, hold on. No problem. I'll be doing more live streams more often. I'll be live far more fucking often. And I will also be making more videos. I'm gonna get back to doing my fucking videos that are pertaining to, what is it? Herbs as well. So my experience with herbs, my understanding of herbs, and a full breakdown of the benefits of them. Their names, their Latin binomials, all of that. I've never had any experience with Nyx before. Thank you. I do hope that you come back. I appreciate the support. Yes, yes, Bilal is. You can take it from someone who has experienced the Black Pact with me. You can take it from him. And he's a living testimony, a living example of the great work that Bilal can do. Bilal can literally change your life for the better. Okay. Albert, you wanted to know how you can contact a spirit. Okay. Depends. That depends on who you're wanting to communicate with. They all have different means in which you can connect to them. So are you talking about infernals? Are you talking about connecting with ghouls? Are you talking about connecting with demons? Are you talking about connecting with zombies? Are you talking about connecting with... Who are you talking about connecting with? Something good for necromancy and vampirism. Okay. You can program black tourmaline to absorb energies, and you can program it to absorb energies of other people too. Black tourmaline, I would highly recommend. Jade is really good for necromancy. Marble. So if you have marble or you have jewelry that is connected to marble or jewelry that is marble stone, granite, those are really good for those kind of workings as well. Onyx, ruby is very good for psychic vampirism too. Those are the main crystals that I would highly recommend for anyone that practices necromancy or psychic vampirism. Especially psychic vampirism, because ruby is the color of, blood. So it can be a representation of blood. Strong vampire stone. So. Okay, with demons. So when it comes to demons, they all have a different kind of cardinal direction. Well, come upstairs then. Come here. Come on. Sorry, my cat's like wanting attention right now. But when it comes to connecting with demons, there are directions, cardinal directions that they are connected to. Each of these directions are connected to a specific element. Okay. For example, Paimon, he would be connected to fire and connected to water. You can strongly invoke and evoke Paimon to the west. Okay? You can connect to Bune and work with Bune in the direction of the east. You can connect to the south, because the south would be the element of fire as well. So that's the reason why Paimon would be more southwest, because those two elements are strongly connected to the southwest. Paimon is very connected to those directions. How did you break all the negative Abrahamic thoughts when going into the LHP? Give me 1 second. I just want to finish answering this question for Albert. So having said that, with those directions, you have those directions down. You understand their elements. Make sure that you can raise a sacred space if you don't have experience with connecting to them, so that you can protect yourself with this sacred space, and then you can give yourself the ability to understand better how to communicate with them. They all have specific ranks and they fall into a hierarchy, right? And when they fall into these different categories, they are very, very good and connected to working with specific metals. So if you have dukes, more so copper. Presidents, you can work with copper. You can work with gold with presidents. You can work with gold when it comes to kings. I have it in my notebook here, my information on Barbados. I have a lot of information pertaining to the Goetia and my Goetic Whispers, because I write it down in this notebook. So I have a lot of the Goetic energies in this notebook. See, I have Murmur here, Cameo, I have Veilfor here, I have Avnas here. But I get stuck on how to go about setting up their altar for them offering, because it's hard to find info on them and people working with these energies. Okay, let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, so you wanted to know information pertaining to Barbados, right? I do have that page in here. Let me just find it really quick. Of all of these goddamn pages in here pertaining to the Goetia, there's so fucking many that I've done. So probably in the back of my book. Yes, drawing apprentice sigils to gaze into them as well. Where is it? Because this is Beleth. This is Negris. And the Maimon. A Cameo. There's Murmur. There's Epos. I don't exactly know where he is, because I don't know it off of the top of my head. I have to look at it, because there's too fucking many that I do videos on, or that I like do research into, and that I connect to. So excuse me, like there's a lot.
It's not on the back of the book or anything. I may have ripped the page out because I don't exactly know where my writing on Barbados is. I don't know where it went. I apologize for that. I'll probably have to find it later. Let me see. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, Flame, give me 1 second real quick. Okay. So, I'm going to answer your question because I'm getting information about it. Hyoctali. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but... Oh, shit. What's going on? Okay. So there's a lot of... Mayans and Aztecs use a lot of fire in their rituals. You can use burnt wood. Petrified wood would work very well. There was blood, so you can bloodlet to the Aztec and Mayan gods as well. Crystals and jewelry were, well, crystals were very dominant in their workings also. Goblets, cups, bowls, using the sun, working with energies of the sun. So if you have any kinds of different, if you have like a window where you can create like a, kind of like a little doorway, you can put that up onto your window and you can connect with the energies of sun through that, you know, creating a little doorway like they've had to gaze into, to meditate, to allow the sun to beam through, because I'm getting that the energies of the sun were very powerful in Mayan and Aztec workings. They used it a lot, but they also used the moon in their energies as well. They used a lot of astrology too. So adding planetary energies into your workings, into your practice, meditating with the constellations at night. So studying different constellations and connecting to those specific energies when you are out and about at night or when you're awake. And connecting to those constellations, working on meditating and getting the connection to those constellations that would pertain to those specific gods that you work under. But I very much so believe that I don't know the names, but there is a sun god that is around you strongly, and then there is a jaguar god that is around you strongly. So I hope that that information helps. So blood and the sun will be very strongly for you, and studying into astrology would be very beneficial for you. How do you scry into a black mirror? So when you want to utilize your mirror, I would highly recommend using smoke, using incense smoke. The reason why you can use incense smoke is because it's the element of air. Once you connect to the element of air and you're utilizing this as an offering to whoever you're calling to, you can utilize this divinatory method by gazing into what exactly it is that you are trying to find. So focusing on what it is you're trying to find. And as the incense smoke is coming up and you're looking into the mirror, you're more so going to be looking kind of at a specific point on the mirror, not more so as staring at it, but gazing into it. And when you have an affixed gaze, you're going to be able to start to see images form in the incense that can be pushed from the mirror, can be pushed from the air, or pushed through both. And in some cases, you'll be able to actually see
in the mirror the images that the spirit is forming with the incense smoke and utilizing to deliver messages to you. I hope that that helps. Okay. Lucifer has come to me in the past, yes. In my work with connecting with the Goetia, Lucifer kind of gave me his blessing in working with the Goetia, but he also started to tell me a little bit about specific kinds of lesser demons that won't really kind of fall in line. So there's means that I'm going to have to go about when it comes to connecting to energies of the Goetia or even legions under demons that are in a higher ranking position. So I have to have a more stern, a more commanding, a more militant vibe or a more militant energy or mindset when I'm going into connecting with certain kinds of energies that pertain to the Goetia. Because some of them are not super kind. So if you're not initiated into black magic, or you're not initiated into Satanism or Luciferianism, or you're not initiated into the Qliphoth, they are going to see you as more of a source of food, to be quite honest. What's the difference between doing candle magic and using a candle along with a spirit? Give me a second. So, okay, all right. So you guys, if you guys want to know, I'll try and do some, okay? So let's see, Theodora. So, Theodora, I don't know how connected you are to energies of death, but Hades does show up around you. So, I don't know if that's connected to you or if that helps, but when I connect to you, you have connections to the energies of the death current, more so the underworld. But Hades is the main energy that shows up. Okay. Okay, so here you go. BJ, you're more connected to, well, what energy is dominantly coming up from around you is Beelzebub. Let me see. That's exactly who showed up. I just heard Beelzebub, Beelzebub, Beelzebub. Okay, give me 1 second. Yeah, no problem. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's see. What it's like working with Osiris is very much so like connecting to the energies of Yeshua. It's very similar. If you've connected or you've worked with energies of Yeshua, then you will understand the energies of Osiris. Osiris has a very soothing energy. He's very well versed, as with Horus, in sex magic, tantric practices, absent partner sex, energy manipulation, traveling in and out of your body, leaving your body, switching the perspective of your switching your perspective and your energy, your full-blown mind state with your partner to pick up on their skills and then pick up on yours. Because essentially when you're working with the alchemies, you're giving yourself the ability to literally be able to move from one brain, from one side of your brain to another. That's what it's like working with Osiris. Absolutely amazing. He's pretty well versed in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
No, you don't lose free will, and you don't lose free will or sense of power the more powerful you get. Quite honestly, it's the exact opposite. You get far more powerful, you get far more of the ability to make decisions on your own behalf and to live for yourself. Every single king, every single duke, every single marquis that I have met, they've all pushed me to become a better version of myself. Even when it came down to just connecting to them just for the purpose of making a Goetic whisper on my YouTube. They have all told me things about myself that have helped me to better my practice, to better myself, to even leave from toxic friendships. Now, on the left-hand path, this is the path of self. It's the path of selfishness. So all of them are going to be giving you information pertaining to yourself and or people that might be around you, because your friends, your circle, your family, they will be extensions of you. And if they are good for you and not extremely toxic, then they will ask you to bring favors or bestow boons or favors onto those people that are closest to you as well.
Yes. Do I meditate? Yes, I do. Yeah, exactly. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, I'll try. Let me see. I saw somebody else up here that asked me. Okay, I did Theodora. Okay. So inward, right?
All right. Let me see.
So inward. Interestingly enough, you have a very strong call to the energies of the draconic current. So it definitely really feels like you have
A strong connection, or you would have a strong connection to Tiamat.
very primordial energies.
And also, if you guys wanted to do, if you guys wanted to do more,
Yeah, that's what I saw.
because I literally closed my eyes and I saw a fucking dragon in front of me. So it immediately, after the fact, I just started hearing Tiamat, Tiamat. Um, if you guys wanted to do like extensive readings with me, then that's why I offer specific time allotments. Because in my readings, we can go fucking in depth. We can go far into, we can go far into shit if that's what you really wanted to do.
What's up, Fernando? Dude, I haven't talked to you in so long. How you been? Dude, you gotta message me. You gotta text me. Bro, I miss you so much, dude. Seriously. Okay, so 1 second. Yes, and that's very true, Buck. Very fucking true. Okay. So, I don't really know how to... Svralzan? I don't know. Srivalsanpi.
You would have the energies of the twins, Nephthys and Isis. Those are strong energies that are connected to and around you.
Yes, give me a second, BJ. Yes, I got you, Kier. Mm-hmm. So Kier, interesting enough, you have very strong energies that are connected to the Grecian pantheon. I don't see any that are specific, but I do see you would have a very, very strong affinity to working with the Grecian pantheon. Does it depend on the demon? Yes, yes. All right. I'll do 2 more. So I'll see two. I'll do 2 more of you guys, and then I'll stop. Because it's kind of like I still want to answer other people's questions and stuff. So I do apologize, but I'll do 2 more. If you guys wanted to like extensively fucking get that kind of energetic kind of reading done, then you can book a reading with me. I will go all the way in depth for anybody that I see. I'm just picking up on the first one that walks up. Okay, 1 second, you guys. Okay. So sorry, guys. I'm gonna do Va, and I'm going to do yeah, of course, you guys. I want to really show you guys like I'm still fucking here. I'm still kicking. I'm still here with you guys. I'm still doing readings. I'm still doing all. I still offer every single fucking service that I've offered, you know, from the beginning. Now I'm just offering empowerments. But okay. Yes, I do online readings. Yes, you can book with me on my website. You can book with me on my website. Every single one of my videos has all of my links in the description. So yeah, and you can email me. And my links are always in the description on my videos. So let me see. Okay. Let me see. So sorry, I'm doing 2 more. I'm doing 2 more. And the ones that I saw were vagina, and I saw vagina, and I saw Davis. So that's the one I'll do. So let's see Davis. All right. So Davis, the interesting fucking thing about you is the fact that like literally, I literally see the Egyptian pantheon around you and Anubis standing with his arms folded. So for sure, if you wanted to know if you had a real connection to Anubis, you do. You do. Vagina, let's see. So vagina, interestingly enough, the strongest fucking connection that I feel that's coming forward is Satan. Satan. That is the main energy that like just was very dominantly present with you. Satan. What's up? What's up? Kay, would you be able to contact Belial as a beginner? Belial has a lot of trials. Belial has a lot of different. Belial has a lot of different energies that are very fucking troublesome sometimes. So it can be extremely difficult in working with him. You got to be really you got to be really built different and have had done some work in your previous years in your life to be able to step to Lord Belial. He is a hell of an energy, and I do not recommend him for beginners because he's intense. He's intense sometimes. Yeah, you do have to be serious. You do have to be very fucking serious. I don't necessarily recommend him to beginners because he's a real fucking powerhouse. He's a real powerhouse. You want results, you'll get results, but he's not someone that's very lenient. Exactly. Just like a drill sergeant. Just like a drill sergeant. He is just like that, yes. Okay, so let's see. So what's interesting is, I don't know if you asked me about this, Cedri. I'm calling you Citri because that's the fucking name that I see when I see that. You have a lot of Nagas that are around you. I don't know if you know who the Nagas are. You probably do. But you have energy that's strongly connected to the Nagas. Because that's what I see when I connect to your energy. Yes, you can't. You can't. But when I tell you guys that Belial is one of the best when it comes down to protection, court case workings, when it comes down to especially protection from the police, like I cannot recommend him enough. Okay. No Mir? Let's see. So Nomir, what's interesting about you is you connect strongly to the energies of Norse paganism, the Norse pantheon. For some reason, that's strong in you. So you might find an affinity to working with the Norse gods. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right, north. So you, north, you have energies that are strongly fucking connected to elementals. You would have an affinity to working with the energies of the Fae, to be quite honest. You have a very strong energy that's connected to the elements. You feel very, like, strongly elemental kind of energy. That's what you feel like. Okay. All right, so we'll see about that. I'll look into it right now. Okay, who else? Okay, let's go with you. Yeah, let's do some super chats. So it makes a lot of sense that you are native, because I feel you very tied to the elements. There's very strong earth energy around you and very strong air. Very powerful earth and air elements that are around you. So that makes a lot of sense that it would tie to the fact that you're native, because I see literal elementals. Like literally elementals that are around you. Okay. How do I say your name? Ara Ruby, let's see. So you, Ara, you would have I don't really know how to pronounce it. Sorry. This is going to be my last one. I'm sorry. You're very much connected to the energies of the Atlantean. So the Atlantean pantheon, beings that would be a part of what Atlantis was, those that would be connected to Atlantis, would be a very strong connection, and you would have a strong affinity to working with that particular energy and those beings. If you guys want like extensive readings, things like that, you can go forward with connecting with me
in a consultation. Like I said, we could fucking go in depth. I got you. I got you. Like, you can literally book me for up to 2 hours and I'll go all down the fucking list of every single one that I pick up on, every single one that I see, whatever you want to go into, we can do that. But you're very connected to Atlantis from what I see. Sorry, because I saw the other one and I told them that I was going to do it, so this is literally the last one. This is literally the last one. So, Zluix, or Zluix. Let's see. You would also be very connected to the energies of, you have energies of elementals, but you have energies that are connected to more so like fire giants. Because I see like smoldering rock, lava, and fucking like kind of golems that have fire on their body. When I see that, I kind of equate that to the fire giants. So you would also be connected to the Norse pantheon as well. That's one main thing that I feel you would definitely have a really good connection to. Yeah, come on, you could come, yeah. Yes, yes. Troll propaganda, fear porn. All right, let me see what he said. So America finally accepts aliens as real now. Any thoughts on that? Here's the thoughts on it. Yeah, exactly what he said. Control propaganda, fear porn. But let me get a perspective from my higher self. Let's see what the fuck he has to say. Let's see what he has to say. He always has some really fucking interesting things to say about these things. So exactly. It pertains to it definitely is directly connected to fear porn propaganda, but just to be in control of what information they release. Because you know for a fact that they're going to be releasing information pertaining to the most evil extraterrestrials that are out there. They're going to document the evil extraterrestrials. That's their plan, to make sure that you fear them so that you know that they're real now, to bastardize and ostracize those specific kind of beings, since they have had extensive experiences with them. That's what I'm hearing from my higher self. So to control the current of information that's going to be coming out pertaining to extraterrestrials, but they're going to be documenting the more evil ones and releasing them to the public so that people can really be afraid of them and give their power away to them. Yeah, come forward, book a reading, book a reading. I don't have, I'm not gonna have availability today, but I likely will tomorrow, and moving into like more so next week. I definitely will. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay, Kay. Let's see what you got. So I'm just doing like one at a time. I know I said I was going to stop, but this is actually really fucking fun. It's really fun. So I'll keep doing it. But if you want extensive, because I'm only going to identify one. I'm only going to identify one. All right. So if you guys do ask me, I'm only identifying one of them. If you get a reading with me, then we can go extensively, but I'm only going to do one. All right. That's the deal. Okay. So, Kay, Let me see. So, interestingly enough, hell yeah. You're just gonna have to book one next week. The only day that I'm not available is June 11th, okay? Because June 11th is a very special day for my girlfriend. That's the day that she was brought into this earth. So we're gonna be celebrating her birthday. Any day aside from that, we'll be able to do bookings, just not this week, okay? And not on June 11th. But anytime next week is great if you do book, all right? So, K, let me go back to K really quick. Yes, of course. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. If you really want to get it done, then you can do a super chat, okay? Because it would greatly help me. Like it would help me a lot. So it doesn't matter how much you put onto it. You can even put a fucking penny. I don't care. You can do the super chat, and that would help a ton, okay? Because it supports me, it helps me continue to grow, it helps me put forth stuff back onto my altar to give back to my spirits, to also help me to pay my bills too, because I do this fully for a living. So you can go on to the super chats to be able to get it, to get this done, okay? But K, I was gonna ask K. K, for you, give me a second, because I did have it come up, but I lost it. Because when channel information comes forward, it'll just go away if I don't give it out. So give me 1 second, okay? For you, Kay, what's interesting is there's a lot of like ice. There's a lot of ice, a lot of energy of ice that's around you. So when I connect to the energies of ice and I see the face that I see the Morgan. So you would have a strong connection to either the Morgan or Hecate. In other words, you're very connected to the energies of death too. You would have an affinity for working with the energies of the death current. It would serve you greatly for sure. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Lupe, let's see. Also, sorry about that. I wanted to say this too. Kay, you also are connected to Iblis, Shaitan, like you're connected to a lot of energies that pertain to the jinn. You would have a lot of luck connecting to that energy as well. So, Lupe, let's do you. Let's see. So, interestingly enough, for you, Lupe, because I get like a mixture. I get like a mixture of energies, and I don't know Italian deities or Italian beings, but energies that pertain to Ramani practices, for some reason that comes up, but also strongly Santissima comes up. So that's what I see around you. Yes. John. Okay. Let's see. John, you would be strongly also connected to the energies of the Norse pantheon. Norse. Most definitely. No, no, I don't. Like I'm telling you, I do a lot of extensive fucking chakra practices to keep myself grounded. I do a lot of things to balance myself out. So I do this a lot. I do a lot of fucking readings. I don't really tend to get ungrounded anymore. I don't really tend to get drained energetically as much anymore either when I do these. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Maria, can you do a super chat? I would really appreciate that. Yep, that's how you do a super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. Yes, Santa Muerte, Lupe. Yes. Yes. But there's very Italian kind of energies that are coming from like it's weird. It's like you have some kind of Italian connection. And I don't know who is a part of pantheons that pertain to Italian magic. But there are beings that specifically reside and rule over the energies that are within um, Italy that you really would have a strong connection to as well. Okay, so let's see. Yin. So the warrior energies come forward. You would also have an energy that's really an energy that's very nicely connected to the Norse pantheon as well. But you would more so work very well with Freya, with Freya. Freya comes up for you. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Thank you guys. Okay. All right. So Maria, if you do a super chat, I would love to do it, but just do a super chat for me. I would really appreciate it. I'll do them and I'll identify one. And when I do the identification for you, I'll do it donation based via super chat. Okay. So go ahead. If you want one, you can do a donation. Plus, it's going to help me to actually see it too, because it'll pop up on the screen as a big notification. So you can write what you want to ask and I'll answer the question on there. But if you want extensive, like I said, you want extensive reading, you want extensive reading pertaining to your love life, pertaining to what this person thinks about you, whatever. I could go really in depth. Okay. Let me ask, because I don't know the Nagas, but I will ask my higher self. I'll try to channel the information pertaining to them then, okay? So the Nagas are very much so connected to the beliefs in Hinduism. They are connected to the god Vishnu. They are connected to also Lord Shiva. You can connect to these energies with Lord Shiva, Vishnu, but Vishnu more so because he's connected to more of the serpentine kind of energies. Nagas are humanoid, and they are the ones that are kind of connected to a lot of protection magic. They're very connected to protection magic because they protect they protect their specific kind of jewel that is like sacred to them. So if they do give you this jewel, it's it's kind of like a blessing. But also the Nagas are known to be tricksters. They like to play tricks just like the Fae. So the Nagas would kind of fall under the umbrella term of being a Fae. So you book a reading. Here I'll put it right here on my chat right here. Okay. So let me see if I can actually type one. Can I type? Let's see if I can turn it. Actually, I'll be able to. I can't. Right now it's not letting me put it into the chat, but it's going to be no, not today. I won't be able to do one today. But moving into next week, I will be able to. I'm sorry, but I don't have availability today. So not elemental phase, but the Fae are directly connected to, yeah. So let me spell out my email address for any of you guys that wanted to get a reading. So it's going to be CHATMON16@gmail.com. You can write to me on there, and you can connect to me when it comes down to that in that way, or you can go to my website and book a reading with me. It's tombofscarab.com. Okay. So I have more availability next week. Sorry, Tyrese. All right. So let's see. Arctic. Let's see what we got here. Hanuman. Hanuman. I'm not sure if you've already been connecting to Hanuman, but Hanuman is a very powerful, potent energy that stands around you that I would recommend you reaching out to next. Lord Hanuman, for sure. Arctic. I hope that helps, because I see Lord Hanuman. What spirit are great for me for a musician? Amdusius, Asmodeus, Moloch. Amdusius, Asmodeus, Moloch. Let's see. I know that Barbados is very well versed in understanding music too. Like there's a lot of them, but the main ones that I would recommend would be Amdusius and Moloch. Azazel is a really good one, and Lucifer. Those are the main ones. Yeah, I feel like Hanuman is a very good energy for you to connect to next. That would greatly benefit you. Thank you. I really appreciate it, Theodore. Okay, you already did the donation, so yeah, I got you, Aria. I'll get you. Give me the person's name. Give me the person's name, because there's 3 of them, but there's one person in particular that I want to make sure that I'm connecting to. Yes, Fae, as in the fairies. Correct, North. Yes, yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Jason. That's true. Okay. So. No problem. Yeah, I'm making this live a video. Don't even worry about it. Yes. Did you get my Gmail address, Mel? I hope you did. I did spell it out. I can't put it in the comment section. I don't know why, but I can't put it in the comment section. But yes, North Fae as in the fairies, yes. you have a very strong connection to the elements, to the elementals, to energies that are native to the actual elements, to the land. Sounds good. Thank you. Hello. How you doing? What's up, John? How you doing? Yeah. Yeah. That's really funny. See, you see what I mean? And that's something that was very creepy to me. And that happened to me before too. And I've heard them like having a conversation. So it was interesting. So let's see. So Squad's doing tricks for you. It feels very like it feels like a very powerful druid. It's like an energy of a druid. That's what I connect to. Because when I hear the name, I just see like a person holding a fucking staff in like gray or green clothing, and they're standing in nature. So that's what I feel when I see the name. That's what I see when I hear that name. Who asked that question? John. That's what I feel when I see and hear that name. Well, because there are quite a few of them that really could benefit you in your practice. That's fucking funny. That's what I see, dude. That's exactly what I see. That is exactly what comes up. It just feels like a very strong, like, energy that's connected to, like, um, being a druid. Very well versed in nature magic, which would also be very well heavily versed in necromancy. Mm-hmm. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'll definitely set up I'll make sure I'm far more organized with my lives. Um, and scheduling and letting you guys know. I'll post on all of them, okay? For sure. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you feel like you have a strong affinity in working with energies of the elementals, of the fae, of corrupt elementals, and death in general. But primarily the elements for sure. Yeah, yeah. All right, I wanted you to give me the first name of that person. That's what I was asking because I filled three people, but there's one person that I'm picking up on that I want you to give me the name of, so that I can see if that's the person that is doing this to you. Because you have three particular people that are really like sending energy toward you that really just are fucking miserable and they're affecting you. They might even talk about you, or kind of um, try and kind of overshadow you and stand in your light to make you feel like you're not, to make themselves feel better, or to make themselves feel like they're better than you. There's three of them, and they're female from what I see, and one of them has blonde hair, and that's the main one that I see that is really trying to kind of like sabotage you. I don't necessarily feel like they can send you any kind of energy like intentionally, but they have been. But it's somebody who has blonde hair.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. The Morgan. Yeah. Yep.
So if he's always on your mind, then you probably are gonna want to. You're gonna want to go connect with him. If you're like feeling as if you have him on your mind, or you have these spirits or energies on your mind, and you're fucking connected to them, and you're just like, I can't get this off of my mind. Like if you're obsessing over them, they're reaching out to you. That's their way of reaching out to you. So reach out to Azazel. Reach out to Azazel. It's K. It's K. It's a female. And from what I see about Kay, she probably has like, it's not super blonde, it's more dirty blonde, but that's the main one that's trying to sabotage you for sure. For sure. Okay, so let me see. Okay. Um, from what I'm connecting to, it's a no for Karanzan and Horon. But when it comes down to if he considers you important to him, yes, he considers everyone who is a practitioner and on the left-hand path important to him, especially those that really work heavily with the infernals. Have I worked with Ganesh? I've worked with Ganesh in the past, and Ganesh is very amazing for alchemies, healing trauma, inner child work. That is what Ganesh is very, very well known for. And that's what I was connecting with Ganesh for. Healing those wounds from your younger self. I love Ganesh, and Ganesh is someone that also is very well versed in helping musicians too. Okay, so let me see. This is gonna sound fucking weird, Nomir. This is gonna sound very fucking weird. Um, you can get 5 beetles. It's so particular and it's so specific from what I'm seeing. You can get 5 beetles, and I see you like mashing them up in a mortar and a pestle, kind of like this. You're gonna mash them up in a mortar and a pestle. You mash them up in a mortar and a pestle, and you're gonna take the guts, the entrails, and all of them, and kind of like basically wipe them on your face. When you wipe these on your face, you're going to say a prayer to Hecate. And when you say this prayer to her, you're going to let her know that this is an offering to her so that you can remove the energies that have attached themselves to you. This is something that should greatly benefit you. This is what I was just told right now. And that's a technique that I don't even know. I was just shown that, and I was told to give you that. So I hope that this information finds you well. I'm going to transition into my room because my girlfriend has some readings that she needs to do. So I'll likely remain live because I'm really enjoying this. I'll be right back. So if you guys are still going to be here, I'm going to remain live. I'm just going to turn this live off right now, and I'll go live again. So just if you guys could wait on me, I'd really appreciate that. I'd still love to answer more of your questions.